Ladies and gentlemen, watching this very important Mindset Sports Show, welcome. Wherever you are watching, when you are here, you are on the Mindset Sport, where we discuss issues ranging from how can we be able to leverage our talents and skills to turn challenges into opportunity. The environmental challenges we face today are disguised opportunities. And young people from across the globe, and especially those who are inspired and willing, are showcasing that we can actually leverage opportunities and challenges. Today, I'm joined with a special guest, Daniel Munang, who is going to break it down like never before. Great ideas and aspects. We'll be right back. When you are here, you are on the Mindset Sport, and today we are going to have a very exciting conversation with Daniel Munang, who is an innovative volunteerism actor. And joining me now is Daniel Munang. Daniel, welcome to the Mindset Sport. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very great. How do you feel being at the Mindset Sport?
I personally feel very happy to be back here and to show the viewer what I've been doing and what I plan to do over the past weeks and the few coming weeks.
Excellent. You have been here before. This is not the first time. This is not the second. This is not the third. You have been here before telling viewers on what you've been doing. So can you just break down exactly what has happened over the year in this journey of innovative volunteerism, including academics, and in a very brief way, what have you been up to, if I could add that way?
So what I've been up to includes, as many people know, I have been focusing mainly alongside school. I've been doing innovative volunteerism stuff such as fashion design and fashion illustration. So over the few months, I have been focusing on that while working alongside school. And as it is the summer holiday, I have decided to continue that by volunteering and taking part in sewing lessons over my holiday.
Excellent. That is very good. So let's now just move a little bit to the school part before we get back to volunteerism. So school, what has happened with school? So for those who are viewing, what has happened to school? You did win an award. You won an award. What was this award about?
I won my school's academic award, academic merit award, which is
what does that mean? Academic merit award.
So to award it.
So those who are watching, what exactly does that mean?
It's awarded to a student per class in the graduating class, which maintains very high academic standards while also being hardworking. It doesn't necessarily mean top of the class, although it can be top of the class. It generally means the most hardworking student who always goes above and beyond on all assignments.
Congratulations. Well done. You're doing very well. You're doing very well. It means for those of you who are watching, academics excellence does not stop anybody from doing other things. In other things here means retooling your skill. But she got an academic merit award. And in the course of that, she has also been doing innovative volunteerism. So can you tell us innovative volunteerism activities you've been taking along during school? Because now before we come to what we are going to do exactly during these holidays.
So before school, I was mainly practicing sewing. And although it was slightly difficult to manage both of them, it was still possible. And I did it over my weekends. And it only took me about 1 to 2 hours each week. And through that, the weekend is about 48 hours. So 1 to 2 hours still means that I have plenty of time to sleep, hang out, and do other things that normal kids do while still developing my passion, which can benefit me in the future.
You've mentioned sleep, which is something that a lot of people love to sleep. They love sleep. And this is actually something that I would like to touch on, because when you look at the way the world works, we all have 24 hours a day, regardless of whether you are prime minister, you are president, whoever you are and wherever you are, you have 24 hours. But there is some kind of attitude that sometimes you look at it and it doesn't add up, in that people sleep more hours than they work. They sleep more hours than they spend time in retooling their skills. They sleep more hours and then talk more and try to envision a world that can only exist in their dreams because they are not creating the time to put in more hours. So for those young people who are there, sleeping, getting up at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, is something that is quite unfortunate. So what message do you have to tell them? Because the truth is,
I feel attacked.
you cannot be able to work hard, academic excellence, skills retooling, to achieve so many things when you do not create time. So you need to reduce hours of sleep and hours of enjoyment. Because if you notice, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure, for you to be impactful and excellent, you need to reduce the hours of leisure and the hours of sleep to add to the hours of work. So what do you tell those people who are watching out there now to do to reduce those kind of things?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. So what I would tell the viewers that can help them reduce is to focus on the long run. Although now waking up at like 8, 9 a.m. may be unfortunate, as many people, including myself, know, it's hard to wake up. However, when you wake up and you choose to retool, that sounded suicidal. But when you choose to wake up and you're focusing on the long run, because even though now it may seem like it's very hard and you don't want to do it, in the future it'll pay off when you've built skills.
Absolutely.
And work towards your goals, and now you'll be eating the fruits of your labor.
Did you hear that? Look, let me just tell you, young people who are watching, and even those who are young at heart, nothing is easy. So if anybody has told you that anything is easy,
Sleeping is easy.
nothing is easy. Any easy thing is a bad thing. Sleeping is easy. Sleeping and getting out at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m.,
I feel
and still thinking you are going to conquer the world, that's elusive thinking. It doesn't work that way. You must be able to work hard. Sleep early. Go to bed at 9. Get up at 6 a.m. or at 5 a.m. Get to work. Finish work, come back, rest, do something that will... Because you may think that you are enduring some pain now, but the fruits of your labor into the future will pay off huge. And that's what makes a difference. As you heard Daniel say, it will be easy to sleep. It will be easy and feel so nice to sleep and get up at 12 o'clock. But unfortunately, the future will be bleak with such a mentality. Now let's get to the aspect of innovative volunteerism now. You did excellent last year. Last year, and during the course of your academic sojourn, you continued and you've been doing designs of apparels, of ladies' dresses in a very excellent way, and you continuously perfected these and you've been showing this. So tell the viewers exactly what you have been doing and how you are moving from better to better to better to better.
So what I've been doing regarding innovative volunteerism includes, like I said previously, sewing and fashion illustrations. And I've been doing this by using a fabric that is sustainable, so that I can be able to...
That's very good. Maybe it's just a quick intervention there. You say sustainable. A lot of people watching say, oh, what is she talking about, sustainable? Maybe just a brief explanation to our viewers to understand exactly what sustainable is about.
So my perception of sustainable, although it may be different from the Oxford Dictionary definition...
No, but from the perspective of the environment and the biodegradability.
So my perspective of sustainable is that it's a material that it's able to be used more than once, mm-hmm. and it's a material that's long-lasting rather than ones that will just easily go away. As the materials that are easily not durable, they end up in a landfill quicker and then contributes to the cycle of environmental damage. So through me using a sustainable material such as cotton. Although cotton can be wasteful compared to other fabrics, it's still good. So by me using sustainably grown cotton, I'm able to create bags and clothes that are also sustainable through the fabric. And if I don't use the fabric that's sustainable, I tend to create stuff that can be sustainable, such as reusable masks, reusable bags, and all those kind of stuff.
That's fine. So over this time, what have you been designing? Because you've made some amazing designs. What have that been? And what do you take into consideration when you design? And for those who are listening, how can they develop passion in this?
So what I've been doing over with my designs and what I take into consideration with them would be practicality, style, and sustainability. So for example, when I sew bags, I think of how practical I can make it. For example, adding pockets or zippers to create more storage areas. And then style, because nobody wants to be walking around with some old bag.
Right.
So I tried to make it as stylish as possible regarding my skills as I'm still developing them. So in the future, hopefully they'll be more aesthetically pleasing. And then I also, most importantly, think about sustainability, how this can impact the environment in the long run, and how many wares the average person can use before putting it away.
Excellent. I think we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll discuss whether you've made money in this journey of innovative volunteerism with what you are doing, and how that have actually been an income earning opportunity for you. We'll be right back. And we are right back on the Mindset Spot. And here we discuss ideas. Here we discuss how we can inspire young people to usher themselves to action and become the solution providers. And before the break, I was discussing with Daniel Afumbom Munang, an innovative volunteerism champion, on how innovative volunteerism has actually made her self-sufficient in terms of putting some more money in her pocket. So, have you been making some cash as a result of this sewing?
Yes, I have. I've been making cash through, like I said previously.
Did you hear that? She's been making cash. And tell them directly how you've been making it.
I've been making cash through innovative volunteerism, as whenever I sell these things, I market them, and if people like them, then they tend to buy them. It's very motivating, as it shows that your work is making profits and is generating a passive source of income. So I believe that innovative volunteerism, no matter what you do, if you do it well, you have the possibility to make passive income that can help benefit you, as with the rising living costs, it's very good to have a secondary source of income. Absolutely. Or you could even make it your primary source of income.
Absolutely. You see, diversification is the biggest security of a system, and that is part of diversification, right? She's in school doing excellent, developing these extra skills to be able to turn challenges to opportunity, and that is putting money in her pocket. If you add there, learn a skill, and that will help you. Now, can you tell the viewers out there what is in stock during this holiday? What are you planning to do? Because you already started your activities in skill retooling, and you are going to further this. So what can we expect in the coming days and coming weeks?
What you can expect from me in the coming days includes many more videos and pictures and graphics of me doing things.
I mean, expectation in terms of what you're going to be sewing now. So which are the kind of apparels you are going to design and sew this time around? Because you've done bags, you've done ladies' dresses and tops and jumpers. So what are we expecting this time around? Are you going to continue to pursue that, or you are going to do something surprising this time around?
What I could say is keep on watching, and if you keep on watching, keep on streaming Dr. Richard Munang on all these platforms, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So this will be a surprise to you guys in the next interview. So I tell you guys to keep on watching, and then you'll find out.
Excellent. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll be running up, and stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we are right back on the Mindset Spot. We discuss ideas that reshape perspectives. And our guest today is Daniel Afumbom. And before we went on break, we are discussing how innovative volunteerism have actually retooled your skill, and you are still learning more to retool your skill so that at least you can be able to diversify your sources of income, and at the same time, of course, be useful to community and to society and to turn environmental challenges into opportunity. And you are doing that very well, so congratulations. And now I'm going to touch on a very important aspect as we run up. And because this is the Mindset Spot, you also have the opportunity to ask me questions. But before you ask me questions, The social media maniac, as they call it, is a make or break, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. Young people are using it to abuse people rather than getting in there to connect with one another, to learn and share ideas. Young people are using it to complain and blame everybody except themselves rather than to showcase the ideas and brilliance. Like, for example, yesterday you were doing sewing. Immediately I got that video, I shared it on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and people were saying, oh wow, I really like to learn this. That's an inspiration. We need to see more of that from people, not complaining and blaming people and using it to chastise and spur negativity. So what's your advice to young people on social media on how they can be able to leverage it, to bolster their skills and create their network, because your network is your net worth?
So I think that the social media industry and media itself can be a very useful tool.
Exactly.
However, it could also be a very damaging tool. So I personally think that, for example, magazines and stuff, there are fashion magazines. So instead of, seeing the latest celebrity gossip
Right.
and who's with who, but I think that rather flipping to the side of magazines where it teaches you about sustainable fabrics, teaches you about new trends in fashion, saying the word celebrities are wearing them, how you could create that in a more sustainable manner. Therefore, you're still getting time on the media. However, your focus is more on useful things rather than things that add practically no value to your life.
There is this attitude of complaining and blame game that seems to have been ingrained in the system of many. We cannot shy away from discussing these very realities today. People complain and blame. They tell lies and lies. Truth is shun away. You tell people if you don't work hard, you cannot be able to actually create impact. They say it's a lie. You tell people you need to sacrifice, sleep less hours so that at least you can be able to have the time to do what is needed to be better tomorrow. They say it's a lie. In your own opinion, why is it that truth is so difficult for people to accept, yet they still want miracles? And whereas the miracles we are looking for and waiting for is us. Any idea or words to those who are watching?
The answer to that question, it's a very tricky question. So I think that the reason why the truth is so hard to accept is because when something slaps you right across the face, it takes a while to feel it, the adrenaline's still in it. So although the truth is right in front of us, seeing it through droughts, climate change effects across the world, heat waves in Europe and North America, I think that the reason why it's hard to accept that climate is a problem and pursuing passions such as innovative volunteerism can link to solving it is because, to be honest, it's hard. And hard work, it tends to be pushed off to the side. So I think that it's not that they can't accept the truth, it's that they don't want to face the truth.
They don't want to face the truth. And let me bring it back to the people we know. Young people across the world and in the continent today love ease over effort. Love sleeping and enjoying life over effort. Love laziness and rather go out there, sit and be complaining and blaming people, from their parents to community and even to the country, over effort. What is wrong with our young people?
That's a very loaded question, like I said previously.
And important as well.
So, I think the issue with our young people today includes the fact that we are moving towards a place that we think that passions and focusing on other stuff is like too much work. And this is because many people, they're either involved in education, like studies, high school, university, post-grad. However, I think that the reason why they tend to complain is because there are challenges. However, we tend to only look at the challenges and not look at the opportunities that we can make out of those challenges.
Good point. We grew up in systems and in communities. We had no lights. We had no potable water. No access to clean water. We had to go to streams to carry water on our heads. We, during holidays, go to bushs to clear farms and till farms and harvest corn and harvest beans and carry it long distance, 5-10 kilometers trekking. We were not complaining because we had no opportunity to complain. So the point I am trying to make, and the audience watching out there, is to understand that there is nothing like ease. Ease is a threat to progress. And from what you're hearing, that you're saying, yes, the young generation today, and when I talk young generation, it's in terms of age. It's even the old people who are young at heart. There is the continuous elaboration and projection of a society that doesn't exist. The world as it should be can only be created with what we have today. The world as it should be is created using the world as it is today. But we want the world as it should be without doing what we need to do today to create the world as it should be tomorrow. And that's a false narrative. And so why I'm bringing up this question and why we're discussing it is that nothing good comes easy. Any easy thing is a bad thing. If you sleep and get up at 10 o'clock or at 12 o'clock because you think that it's so nice and easy, that is compromising your future because the hours you are supposed to use to put effort to do what is needed, you are losing it. And time lost can never be gained. Back to the question again. What is your message to these young people out there who have given up and have been made to think that nothing good exists on earth, and they see every challenge as a challenge rather than as a disguised opportunity? What can you tell them? And then after that, we'll take a break and we'll come back. You ask me 2 questions on the mindset spot, and then we'll round it up.
So my reasoning behind why some young people think this way and what I could advise them is with what you're doing now is preparing for the future. For example, many people who are successful today, doctors, lawyers, diplomats, they put in the work through their academic and working career, spending long hours in and out at the offices to build their career. And now they're reaping the fruits of their labors while having excellent jobs, excellent benefits. So many people want to achieve those things without knowing the years of work that goes into it. For example, where I live, medical school is 13 years, including residency. However, many people just see the medical career as very glamorous, and this applies to environmental context as well, because many people see the environment and think it's horrible and everything, and don't think they can help it. However, they are probably part of the cause to why the environment is like this. So I think that with the challenges among us, we should find ways and come together to develop solutions and put in the work now so that we can be enjoying and living life in the future. And by living life, I don't mean sleeping till 4 p.m. By living life, I mean that inspiring others through your passion projects to encourage them to do other things that can benefit communities and then hence benefit the environment.
And that's a 14-year-old talking. If you're 38 or 40 or 50, you can do it. 14-year-old, not a 44-year-old. You listen and you see people can do what they think they cannot do. And now the last question, all these things you're talking here, people might think that you were just born like this. What has been the role of mentorship from your parents?
I think the role of mentorship from my parents especially has helped me because without the role of mentorship, chances are I probably wouldn't even be talking to you right now on this show because I wouldn't have anything to talk about.
How have you been mentored?
And I've been mentored by being encouraged, strongly encouraged to consider different passions and to apply them in a practical sense rather than just focusing on one aspect or the other, by diversifying my passion to ensure that I am developing different solutions from different angles, not only a fashion angle or not only an artistic angle, but different angles, including scientific, athletic, and different angles that can help solve challenges across the globe.
Excellent. Truth be told, there are also some parents out there who don't even know how to mentor their kids. Cooking food, giving your kids, that's okay, but that's not enough, okay? Taking them to school, they come back, they play, that's okay, but that's not enough, okay? So what would you tell them they need to do as parents from the experience you've gotten from your parents?
Like I said previously, I'm not a parent. However, I have parents, so I think that I have the means to talk about this.
Correct.
So I think that, for example, a parent doesn't only mean the people who gave birth to you. It can also mean the people who have guided you throughout your life. And I think the best way to nurture your children is through having heart-to-heart talks and telling them, not just telling them to do something, but explaining to them the benefits and how it'll impact your life positively and or negatively. And keep on encouraging them to do the thing that you believe and that you think they would enjoy while also creating future opportunity to them.
But there are some parents who think that when they allow their kids to do what they want, then they're doing right. But they're doing wrong. They're spoiling the kids. They're not strong enough to say you cannot do it. And then they don't provide, even when sometimes they say you cannot do it, they don't provide an alternative. What message can you tell them from the lessons you have learned from your parents?
So I think what some parents can do is finding activities and finding passions and encouraging their children to do passions that they think that their children would enjoy. For example, if your kid is very artistic, you can put them in art so that they can be developing solutions that are like, designing bags or painting, drawing that depict how the environment's suffering and how creating solution through art to create solution for the environment, like I previously said. Or if your kid's super athletic, you can find, soccer, volleyball, basketball clubs. And through this, sports really help you with determination. So what I've learned is that there is always an opportunity in a challenge, whether it's visible or not.
Excellent.
And I believe that many parents should teach their kids to think this way, as it will inspire their children to take on more challenges despite it being hard at first. But through these tokens of knowledge, the children will be able to understand that although it seems hard now, in the future, if you keep going with it, it'll pay off eventually.
You heard Daniel said something very, very important. I would like to put stress on this. Teaching your kids to see opportunities in challenges. And I think this is actually what has been missing in many mentorships and even in many guidance to young people, and parents seem to miss this art. There is supposed to be what I call a mindset of resilience. A mindset of resilience is we must start telling our young people, our kids, that look, life is not a place of ease or celebration. It's a place where we face challenges. We will face them whether we like it or not. But when you face it, you need to develop that resilience and that ability to be able to see that, yes, this is a challenge. Yes, I am going to retool my skills so that I can provide solutions and devise solutions for this, to turn this challenge into an opportunity. And that we cannot faint when we face challenges. We cannot faint and collapse when we face challenges, because currently our minds are not nurtured to be able to withstand adversity. We are nurtured to collapse when adversity happens. Maybe this was the mistake we made. Some of us made over 40 applications before we got the job we are in today. And when we got the job, we worked 55 times 5 to be able to even survive in the jobs. What does that mean? Because of the mindset that life is not a place of ease. It's a place where you need to work hard. It's a place where you need to retool your skill. It's a place where you need to become a solution provider. And so I'm building on this point that Daniel Munang has said. Everybody should be able to teach one another to understand that, yes, we face challenges, but we don't have to faint when we face challenges. We need to overcome them, succumb them. And you can only do that when you have an open mind to learn, an open mind to retool your skill, an open mind to develop that internal flame in you that is called passion, to turn a challenge into an opportunity.
There you have it from Dr. Richard Munang. Stay tuned after the break, where I'm going to be asking him some questions.
Absolutely. I'll be right back.
Hello people, welcome back to the Mindset Spot. Before the break, I was going to be asking Dr. Richard Munang some questions about anything, to be honest, as it's not just his spot, it's my spot as well. And it's also your spot.
Absolutely.
So the question I have for you now is, why did you decide to go into innovative volunteerism, as you already had the job as working in climate change? So why did you feel to go the extra mile to ensure that it's going across all communities and not only through policies?
Absolutely. If you look at the multiplicity of challenges that we face across the world, whether we're talking the climate challenge, environmental challenges, economic challenges, socio-economic challenges, we need what is called a whole of society approach. What is a whole of society approach? Very simple. Everyone, regardless of what he or she does, the young, the old, women, men, those who are working in NGOs, international organizations, everybody needs to be brought on board to play a part. And if you take the African continent today, a continent of 1.4 billion citizens, you will notice that actually those who are engaged in real action are very few, because sometimes they see climate change as an environmental issue. But climate change is a justice issue, it's an economic issue, it's a health issue. It's actually an issue of equity. And so to be able to engage everyone, especially in a continent where we have over 60% of the population youthful, without engaging the youth and engaging them in a way that they can use the biggest resource, which is human resource, because the biggest capital is human capital. It is 14 times more than natural capital and 4 times more than produced capital. What does it mean? If you don't engage people to inspire them so that they can use their skills to be able to do what they can do, then no matter the amount of money that will ever come, the climate challenge can never be turned into an opportunity. And that is the essence of innovative volunteerism, which is a free tool and a mindset change tool that people can be able to get inspired to know that if I spend time to learn a skill, to turn a challenge, an agricultural waste, to fuel briquette, you can replace charcoal, and in the course of that, you put more money in your pocket. That you can be able to develop a solar dryer by using your skill, and in the course of that, they help the mother in the village dry her vegetables, and you put more money in the pocket as the mother put food on the table. So in essence, the answer to your question is, it's a tool to engage more people and to ensure that each and every one is brought to be part of a solution, not only a complainer in chief.
Great. So as you can see, I'm leaning towards more theoretical / scientific questions. That's throughout the show. It's great to have both practical and theoretical questions. So my second question is, as you know, in the Western world, Europe and North America, especially the western part of North America, such as British Columbia, Alberta, and Canada, they're suffering from immense heat waves, which are leaving many people, especially those who work outside, suffering from illnesses and death across the world due to heat waves. So how does this relate to climate change, and what do you think we can do to prevent heat waves across the globe, as heat waves can detrimentally impact people's lives, as these weathers, we're not used to these weathers in these places.
30 years ago, when the science of climate change was released in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, when they released the first report and warned the world that we were heading towards a point, if we do not reduce the emissions, burning fossil fuels, carbon dioxide, methane into the atmosphere, we will reach a point in which we will see fires, we'll see heat waves, we'll see hurricanes and cyclones, we will see tornadoes. Nobody listened. And then now today, because we continuously as a global community, and especially rich and developed nations, pump into the atmosphere fossil fuels, carbon dioxide, in the course of development, we are now feeling the impact. And what the science is telling us, and especially with the latest Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which was released a year ago, unequivocally pointed to the fact that the warmer the planet, the more we are going to see these extremities. I call them extremities. Heat waves have been before, but they have not been as worse as they are now, and they're going to get worse. Because the climate system has been altered because of the warming climate. Everything that you see, you will see it in extreme. The soils are getting drier, the soils are getting drier, the forests are getting drier. It means that if there is any, because of the changing climate and because of the increasing heat, if it catches fire, and that fire is going, the intensity of that fire is going to increase. The heat wave the same way. The alteration of the climate means that when there is little heat, especially during summer, the intensity is going to increase. So in a nutshell, in answering your question, unequivocally, these heat waves are only going to get worse. Why? Because as we speak today, the world has warmed to 1.1 degree. 1.1 degree is dangerous because the world is supposed to limit temperatures increases at 1.5 degree. It means we are only 0.4 degrees away from danger. And with the accelerated path in which the world continuously pumps emissions into the atmosphere, then these heat waves we are seeing now, one can confidently say is just the tip of the iceberg. And therefore the message is simple. Emissions must be reduced, meaning we must now move to renewables, depending on solar clean energy rather than depending on coal plants that pump emissions into the atmosphere, ensuring that at least we move from cutting down our trees to now focusing on turning agricultural waste to fuel briquettes, ensuring that we start now to leverage on wind, on solar, on hydro, on geothermal as an energy mix rather than depending only on this coal and gas that has been talked about for quite a very long time.
Excellent answer. You heard it from Dr. Richard Munang that by reducing our emissions, we can stop heat waves. If you don't like the heat and you don't like being affected by wildfires wherever you are, and you don't like extreme weather conditions, which I'm sure nobody does, play your part to reduce carbon emissions.
The mindset sport is your sport, and today you've heard it all. A 14-year-old debunking and decongesting not only ideas, but the solutions you put in place, leveraging on innovative volunteerism. When you are here, you are on the mindset sport.
As Dr. Munang said, you are on the mindset spot, and feel free to ask any question that me or him can answer in the next episode. Oh, the pleasure of you watching us. See you next time.
And see you next time. And it is the Mindset Sport. See you next time.